Well, and that's correct. Now, an elephant is killed every 15 minutes in Africa for its tusk. In Tanzania, the elephant population has declined by 60% in the last 5 years. In 2014, in South Africa, 1,215 rhinos were killed, which equates to about one rhino in every 8 hours. Rhino horn is now valued at over 66,000 rand a kilo. It is worth more than gold. And 8 out of 10 rhino horns smuggled out via Mozambique, Kenya and Ethiopia is all smuggled to Asia. Bowers Brothers is an organization that sells jewellery, and the profits made from the sales are then given to a British-based NGO called Tusk, whose lead patron is the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William. And they are directly concerned with protecting various endangered animals that are native to the African continent. Joining us now in studio is the Bowers Brothers, Matthew and Adam. Gentlemen, a very good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
First and foremostly, any one of you, tell me more about your organization.
Okay, so essentially the organization was started by us towards the beginning of last year, and we sort of founded it upon a couple key principles. And the first of those is to live with no regrets. So we were tired of being essentially passive activists on social media and getting really in touch and making a contribution towards the cause, so to speak.
So what did you decide to do then?
So essentially, to achieve this goal, we've created a whole range of jewellery, and we started with Grant McDonald. So Grant McDonald is our main supplier, and he just received a royal warrant, and he essentially has created beautiful handcrafted elephant pieces for us, which is our first piece, and the first piece was actually auctioned off at Tusk at their 25th anniversary dinner.
That sounds absolutely fantastic, yes?
I think what was important for us is that we knew that, firstly, we love Africa, and we love the bush, and we knew that the biggest contribution we could make was through providing the revenues required to actually fight this war on the ground. We live in the city, our hearts are in the bush, and we were lucky enough when we were young to spend our holidays in the bush. And so we knew the best way we could contribute to this fight was by providing money to the right people on the ground.
Now, I hope that we're going to see some of the artwork because we got some of the pictures available. But tell me more about the artwork itself. You were talking about it earlier, Matt, right?
I'm Adam.
Adam. Adam and Matthew, yes. Tell me more about the artwork and the sort of stuff that you would do. Is it only mainly about the elephant?
No, so essentially we've got a couple of our centerpieces which are created by Grant McDonald, which is what you see here.
Yeah.
This is actually the second edition of this elephant. It's beautifully handcrafted, and there's going to be 3 sizes bigger than this. This piece is worth about £750, and it's sold, will be sold online, and right now we've entered into game lodges in the Masai Mara and our first game lodge in South Africa as well, so it'll be sold in those types of gift shops and those places. We have in the process of creating a mold of a rhino, and we've got a chimpanzee and a turtle that really represent different animals of different biomes throughout Africa, which is what Tusk supports.
Now, in terms of funding, is the organisation only self-funded with the sales of the artwork, or is there any other funding for the organisation?
So we have self-funded everything. We have our mother who works with us, and she's also very passionate about the bush and about jewellery as well. Everything that we've done by ourselves, and we kind of use working capital to do another project, like Adam explains, to work with the chimpanzees and the turtles, and everything kind of rolls off each other.
So once the artwork has been sold and you get the funding, where does it go into, in what sort of projects?
So essentially, Tusk is about protecting wildlife, supporting communities and promoting education. So they like to touch on all of those 3 aspects to create a rounded approach to sort of combating poaching throughout Africa. So it's not just about actually protecting the wildlife, so to speak, but educating and supporting communities to a state where they don't have to feel the need to go and poach.
And that education that we're talking about, it's also about awareness, isn't it, at the same time? But what do you educate the communities around the area?
I would say that you educate the communities around the area just on essentially how desperate the situation is getting, and that's the other side of poaching is we can actually promote tourism and things like that that would generate revenue for those communities, rather than just something that's taking rather promote tourism and sort of uplift the communities with jobs in specific areas.
Now, on this show, we focused on a lot of major conservation efforts that have been put forward to try and combat poaching, such as dehorning and rhino farming. Do you guys feel perhaps that those are the type of efforts that makes it possible and maybe a possible solution to fight against rhino poaching?
I think that combined, there have been some very good initiatives. I think one of the problems with the anti-poaching effort at the moment is that there's no kind of one single approach, and there's lots of different things going on. I think that there needs to be more communication between the different parties. Ultimately, this is about economics. Different people have different views on what the right way to go about it is. In South Africa, they've recently just allowed the trade of rhino horn inside the country. So it's very difficult to kind of grasp what is the right way to go about it right now. I think what Adam touched on in terms of the conservation, people need to understand that that's the most sustainable way of making money off these rhinos. And like I said, it all comes down to economics in the end.
Yes. Talking about economics, what